Okay, welcome to the resources that you need to know about series. Today, we're going to be talking about how to attract and retain really top-notch talent. And this is really important for small business owners and solopreneurs because you're fighting against the corporations who have all of these things that they can offer. So how can you get the same talent in your backyard, things that you still need? You're just a smaller business. My guest today is going to be Brian Calvert. Now, Brian is a seasoned health insurance and employee benefits expert who spent years in corporate America. So he has experience on both sides of the aisle, if you like. He was in management, he did hiring and firing. So he has a very unique perspective on this. Right now, Brian is an expert who offers health, dental, vision, life, disability insurance, and a whole raft of other things that can help you to attract and retain your talent. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about leveraging today's technology. He's an expert in that area as well, dedicated to helping businesses offer competitive benefits to employees to drive retention and, of course, improve hiring practices. So welcome, Brian. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Wendy.
So before we get started on the questions, and I'm sure that small business owners are going to want to know, okay, so how do I get in and really attract the people that I want and keep them? How did you get into this area? You were in corporate America, and now you're running your own business. So what happened?
Well, like you mentioned, I was in corporate America. I was in commercial real estate, and I was a mall manager, right? I was a mall rat. I worked in malls for years and years and years, and I learned every job from mopping floors to managing the whole place. And, that was a great career. But as Amazon and these big corporations come up, we had less of a need for as many shopping centers as we did in the communities that we're in. So there was a chance in 2017 where, our company sold and I had a position to get bought out of my position. And I had a very good friend, a childhood friend from 30 years who was in this industry. And he had been begging me, knowing my skill set, to come open a branch, an agency of my own. And so there I did. I took the leap, and it's been off to the races.
Oh, fantastic. Good to hear. So running your own business, a little different from running a mall?
Oh, absolutely. They both have their own challenges, but very rewarding, I can tell you that. So.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So let's dive in and help our viewers understand what they can do to attract and retain really top talent for their businesses. So in your experience, what's the most overlooked element in designing benefit packages that truly make top talent say, hey, this is where I want to build my career?
Yeah, I would say currently in the current market, the biggest thing outside of the usual things we talk about, which are health, dental, vision, disability, all those things, people need to make sure that they have a wellness or mental health strategy in place for people. It's a hot topic, whether it's telemedicine, whether it's a local help. There needs to be something in place that can help the employee wellness and make sure that they're in their best state of mind for themselves and their life and their work, because they commingle very much so.
Absolutely. There's obviously in the news and in social media, there's a lot of talk about mental wellness. And so it's kind of top of mind for a lot of people coming into jobs these days. But is this really going to be expensive, something that a small business owner or solopreneur can actually afford?
Absolutely. Most of the carriers that are out there and the companies that want to work with you and work with small businesses have embedded these types of products within their plans that they offer. But you just need to, need someone like me who can help you navigate that to make sure that it's included, right? That it's part of the package, because it is important, as well as other small things within wellness packages, such as financial literacy. People look for help with that, how to set up a 401k, how to have a lifetime savings goal, right? Those are small things that employees don't expect, but they're a good surprise when they're offered or helped with.
That's a really interesting perspective because I worked in corporate America for 30 years. And the last 25 years, I worked for a Fortune 100 company. And of course, everything that you wanted was on a platter, but no one offered financial literacy. So that is really fascinating that that's been put on the table now.
Yeah, it's something that's not talked about a lot, but I try to talk about it with people. There are ways to get it, even if you find a local resource. I think it's important to give your employees that, because people don't understand life insurance like you or I might, or they don't understand retirement like you or I might, and they don't think they can afford a full-blown CPA or a CFA to help them do it. So who's going to help them, right? Who's going to help their children? Because people want to try and build generational wealth within their families, and this is how you do it. You got to be, get the knowledge to be there.
Okay, wonderful. So if a small business owner comes to you and says, "Hey, Brian, I've got, 2 or 3 employees. I'm starting to look at scaling and building in more and more people into my business. What is it that I should be offering them? What's going to help me attract really good talent?"
Yeah, I mean, the general base that everyone starts with is going to be products like, medical, dental, vision. But to further that, there's short-term disability, long-term disability, and voluntary and involuntary life insurance that either employers can pay for, or you can offer to the employees at their cost, where these are guaranteed issue products, right? So a life insurance to an employer that pays for it is going to make sure that even someone with health issues can get a guaranteed issue life insurance, which they may not be able to get on their own, right? Or they wouldn't know how to find. So little things like that to make sure if something happens, their family's covered goes a long, long way for a small cost to the employer.
Actually, that's a really great point, because if I went back into corporate America today, um, the insurance would cover me, and it would be really great because I'm in group if it would cover my husband because he has pre-existing conditions. And I think a lot of families are in that position where a spouse or a child might have a pre-existing condition. They can't get private health care, but they can through an employer, which is really important and something that an employer can really offer, just like any other large corporation. So good thing. And of course, there's also, in addition um, to the things that the employer is going to pay for, help pay for, there's also voluntary benefits that can be offered by the employer, such as what we do, Legal Shield and ID Shield legal services, and identity theft protection, which are 2 of the 5 most requested voluntary benefits. And we were talking earlier before we came on camera. Does anybody know the number 1 requested voluntary benefit? It's going to surprise you. It's pet insurance, believe it or not. That's become really important to a lot of people because we treat our pets like children. So people want
My
insurance.
house is the exact same. There's no question about that. So
So Brian, let's take a look at technology. A lot of small businesses don't think about technology in offering their benefits packages. And I know that a lot of things have changed, because when we go into companies and offer Legal Shield and ID Shield as an example, we can put up a portal that will have videos in there that explain what the employee would be getting and how they could use it, which is something that didn't happen before. We had to go in and present to the employees kind of one-on-one. So how have you seen technology change the way that you sell at this point?
well, that's a twofold question. From the employee perspective, most of these carriers now have incredible websites, apps, texting, and chats all available to them. The things that'll help them use their insurance on a day-to-day basis. So those things have gotten much easier. Even big companies, I help set up HR portals where they have internal AI that will answer questions from their handbooks, so that they need a question regarding the benefits, they'll be able to find them. Now, from a perspective of the employer, the technology really is helping us in the way of setting up and using AI as well for underwriting and things like that. So where it used to take you a week or 2 to be able to get a bindable quote for a company that they may or may not be able to afford it. So you may take you 30 days to get a plan. I can get a bindable quote in sometimes hours now as well, which speed isn't always the important factor, but it's ease of use, because when we use AI, you do not have to run around to every employee and get a health questionnaire filled out and get it turned in and then send it over. So it's ease of use. So that's been really helpful for me, generating quotes for people and getting business off the ground.
And that really helps, because if you're a small business owner, you're wearing probably a dozen different hats, running around doing all kinds of stuff. You don't have a lot of time to spend putting together packages and looking at everything. And so having somebody like you be able to get back in a reasonable time frame is really important.
Yeah, and much like you, I have a slew of great partners that I work with. So if someone comes to me and says, geez, I need help and I don't have an HR person, well, I know someone who does fractional HR, which means they'll come in on a part-time basis, help you with your HR, or someone who does, those same companies may do bookkeeping and such, right? So you'll see that I, as a consultatory role, I have all the resources surrounding the benefits so that we can help you get them off the ground. So it's not just about the health; it's my team, let's call it. Even though they don't work for me, but they're my partners in crime, let's call it, to get everyone going.
Yeah, that's fantastic because again, if you're a small business owner, you don't have a lot of time to put this stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And having
Absolutely.
one person that you can rely on to look at something, to discuss it with them, to say this looks good, this doesn't look good, have them review stuff, bring together their other team members is really a tremendous help.
Yeah, and we help in other ways. If they have employees that are aging out and they need help with Medicare, we can help with that, right? Because you want to give that resource if someone's going to retire, that they're set up after they leave you. So little things like that go a long way, in the market. And I'll add that everyone we've talked about this before, that people think they can't afford insurance and these benefits for people, but we have all sorts of resources that we can use. Tax advantaged plans. The ACA has a whole bunch of tax advantages built into it. Whereas we can get some of these benefits for your employees at no cost to them and a savings at cost to the employers. So they can, it's a net win for everybody if you put these in place. You just got to talk to someone like me who can help you find them. So.
Well, that's fantastic because, no cost to me is like music to my ears, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When we had our business growing, we had employees, and we certainly didn't think that we could afford health insurance. And so we had to do something else to help out our employees. If I had known you, then I could have come to you and said, hey, this is what we want to do. This is our budget. What can you do for us? And I'm sure that would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, most likely. And the thing that our company and myself pride ourselves in, that we'll do an analysis. And if what you have, or if it doesn't work, we're not going to put someone in a bad position to offer benefits. We're going to make sure it works all around for employees and employers, because otherwise you go in the wrong direction. And that's not our goal. Our goal is to grow together.
Right. Absolutely fantastic. So in order to get hold of you, let me see if I can use technology to figure this out. There we go. This is Brian's information on how to get hold of him. So I'm going to leave this up so that you can copy it down. And feel free to reach out to him by phone or by email. Let him know what it is that you're trying to do. And then you can have a really great conversation about how you can put together a benefits package that will attract and retain your top employees. Now, as Brian and I were talking about before we came on camera, your benefits package isn't the only thing that you can do in order to attract and retain top talent. There are other things that you need to have in place. A lot of it goes back to the culture of your company, your management, the types of advantages that these people will have to increase their skills and to climb up the ladder and to get the types of experiences that they want. A lot of that is going to come into play as well. However, when people come through the door and they're going through that interview, one of the things that's top of mind for them is, what are the benefits? And what Brian has just explained to you is going to give you a really great start in putting together a package that will give your top talent exactly what they need and exactly what they want. Okay, so please write down Brian's phone number, write down email, and get in touch with him. Like a 15-minute conversation will let you know pretty quickly whether or not Brian can help you put together your package, and he can help you. Now, Brian, you can help across the U.S. Is that correct?
Yep, we can pretty much work in all states. We're more limited by what plans might be available in a state, but we pretty much have something in every state. But I can go over that as people reach out to me. Yeah.
Right. So don't think that because Brian is in one state and you're somewhere else that he can't help you. He can help you wherever you are throughout the U.S. and put together that package for you. Okay, we're coming up on our 15 minutes, and I am Wendy Byford. We provide legal services and identity theft protection as a voluntary benefit for employees. And these employees, once they take those legal services and identity theft protection, they cannot use it against you, the employer. So just bear that in mind. If you would like to talk further about these voluntary benefits, which do not have to cost you a cent, then please just call me, text me, or you can email me, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn every day, so reach out, connect with me, and let's have a conversation. So thanks so much, Brian.
It was
I
great to
really
be here. I appreciate it.
love having you on as a guest. Again, this is Brian's information. If you didn't get it before, just scribble it down now. And Brian, you're on LinkedIn as well. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn as well. You can find myself or my company, Business Health Market. And I should add on my website, businesshealthmarket.com, there's a section for a calendar, and you're able to book an appointment in 15-minute blocks. So if you did want to do a consultatory, that's a good place to find me, or just text or email me as well.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate having you on as a guest. And that's a wrap. Take
Yeah,
care.
I know. Thank you.
Bye bye.